Okay, I guess we'll get started then. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location and your time zone. I am Njideka Okeke from Nigeria. I am a financial consultant and a financial analyst, and I am currently in business school to get my MBA in finance and strategy. I'm a 2019 Mandela Washington Fellow, and I'm really passionate about women and the girl-child empowerment. I feel so inspired and empowered by the amazing speakers that have poured into us from day one of this conference and also from the earlier part of today's session. I hope everyone is as excited as I am for the next section we have, which is the plenary session. And I am happy to have the honor to introduce our speaker today, Mrs. Bamidele Ademola-Olateju is a creative writer, author, digital strategist, and trend analyst with versatile background in technical communications. She is the convener, Circle of Hands, a youth development and advocacy organization in the New Life Initiative for Civil Development with focus on civic education and community organizing. She's a serial social entrepreneur and a spirited modern essayist actively involved in public intellection. She had her graduate study in business administration and later completed her computer information system. She has worked in software development, software engineering, project management, and quality management for 2 top Fortune 500 companies before establishing herself as a farmer. Her interests are in civic leadership, civic engagement, youth development, and advocacy. She sits on the board of many nonprofit organizations. Mrs. Bamidele is a member of Premium Times editorial board and maintains a weekly column on politics and socio-economic issues every Tuesday. Please join me to make welcome Mrs. Bamidele.
Thank you, Njideka Okeke, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Hill, for inviting me and for giving me the opportunity to talk to young women who will make their country, Africa, and the rest of the world proud as they become leaders in their various undertakings. I will begin this speech, lecture, as you may call it, with a charge that whatever you do, wherever you are, as a woman, please let the silent speak, let the hidden be seen, and let the powerful exercise their might. Dear women and girls attending this conference, I congratulate you. I congratulate you because you are here today. It means you have a voice. You are validating the famous words of Lord Peter Brougham, which says, education makes a people easy to lead, but difficult to drive, easy to govern, but impossible to enslave. Why did I have that quote? That quote comes to my mind because you are not one of the 796 million illiterate people in the world. You are literate. That's why you are here. That means you have privilege, and privilege ought to count for some good. I'm here to talk to you this morning and ask you to adopt and internalize a new motto, a new mantra, a new slogan that you will lead the change to do 3 things. And what are the 3 things? I have said it before, that you will always let the silent speak, that you will let the hidden be seen, and let the powerful exercise their might. And this comes in 3 ways. It's either you, someone you know, or someone you don't know. For you, you have to internalize some things I will talk to you about today. For those you know, you have to teach them, tell them. For those who don't know, you have to be their champion. Let us begin. Women and girls have long been silent. Now they must speak. Women and girls have long been hidden. Now they must be seen. Women and girls have long been powerful. Now they must exercise their might. How can you do it from your corner? First, you have to move from silence to command. Your voice is your power and your presence. Your voice is unique. It is an outward representation of who you are to the world. Every girl, every woman have the right to be heard, to be seen, and to act. Every girl, every woman have a voice that she can act upon to make the world better. You have currency. Your currency is the right to express an opinion, to have a say in what concerns you and what affects your society. Spend the currency. Speak up. How can you be heard? I have some tips to give you. Trust your voice. Trust your voice. Master your words within your family, in school, at work, everywhere. The society may tell you that a woman should not have strong opinions, that you are trying to be masculine if you attempt to claim space and speak up. Again, trust your voice. If you aspire to any form of leadership, it is important, very important, to trust that what you feel, that thing you feel, trust it. Trust what you know and trust what you see. It is valuable. After developing trust in your own voice and what you feel, know, and see, you must always plan what you are going to say. Decide the words you'll be using and how you will say it. With the confidence and mastery of your own voice, the next step is learning to speak your words in a way that compels you to be listened to and your words acted upon. You cannot be influential by being silent. So, your voice is who you are. It is how you show up. It is how you signal your passion and the determination to see it through. It is taking a stand. It is your authentic self. How can you trust your voice? You can do so by using confident language. Confident language is concise language that commands the attention of your audience. Do not soften what you have to say by using words like, I suppose, I think. No. Those words portray you as unprepared, unsure, and not confident. Avoid filler words like, um, mm-hmm, as much as you can. The volume of your voice, the tone, cadence, eye contact, gestures, and your posture affect how people hear your message. My advice, always rehearse before you speak. Before I came on here, I wrote this down, I rehearsed it. I committed some points to memory. Always rehearse what you have to say. It makes you feel confident. Second, I said you should let the silence speak. I have dealt with that. That's the power of your voice. I said you should not be hidden. And here comes that. Step out of the shadows and unveil yourself. Know that representation matters. It is time for you to be seen. For us women, the narrative about us has always been domestic life, children, husbands, friends, and family, and less about ourselves, work life, collaborations, leadership, and finance. To step up, out of the shadows, you will need to learn to speak differently. Tone matters a lot. Women are blessed with high-pitched voice, but humans have evolved to associate lower vocal frequency with authority. If you want to be taken seriously in public, end your sentences on a lower tone than you started with. The world believes you should guard your tongue as a woman, lest you dance at the edges of socially acceptable norms. Well, I will tell you, guard your tongue by being modest in your speech, not by being silent. Do not allow anyone to silence you. Guard your tongue by being modest in speech, not by being hidden. Do not fold up when you should open up. Come out. Do not hide. Your power lies in being able to say what you want for as long as you want. Speak with confidence. Let your words speak volumes by sharing your experiences, your ideas, and perspectives. Third, I said, let the powerful exercise their might. How can you do that? You can do that by owning your own voice, by declaring and demonstrating your power. Malala Yousafzai said, to be powerful, I only need one thing, education. It takes a lot of heavy lifting to gain power. To be powerful in any way takes a lot of persistence, a lot of grit, and a strong belief in one's own ability to realize set goals. Even though there are obstacles to women gaining power, significant internal barriers exist within us that undermines our own success, our effectiveness, and prevents us from realizing the extent of the power we have. The cliche that your voice is your power is rooted in wisdom. When you have everything in place to lead, leading and staying in the lead depends on your power. Your voice and your choice of words determines your confidence and shapes your ability to influence others. To declare your power and exercise your might, there are some things you must not do. 1, never, never, never apologize for who you are, for your thoughts, for your ideas. Offering unnecessary and frequent apologies is a no-no. Saying too much sorry makes you look pathetic and subservient, because as women, we always say, oh, I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. No. 2, avoid the use of weak words like, I think I can do it. I feel I can do this. Avoid those words. It makes you look unsure and projects a lack of command. Use words like, I know, I'm convinced, I expect. 3, don't let men appropriate your ideas. This is very important if you are in the corporate world or even anywhere, because many times a woman brings up an idea. That idea will be ignored until a man says it or echoes it. When that happens to you, if you want to be powerful, if you want to project power, if you want to declare your power, what do? Say something like, thank you for bringing up that idea I mentioned earlier. Take ownership of your idea. Do not let anyone appropriate it. Number 4, be a helper and a volunteer. When you do that, you declare your power and you wield influence. You wield influence by helping others achieve their goals. When you volunteer your time and skills, you project confidence and influence. Number 5, promote yourself. Self-promotion is a skill men have that we have not mastered at all. I'm guilty of this myself because I believe my work should always speak for me. So for me, it is a work in progress, and I'm struggling to know how to do it without looking like a braggart. But I do know, and I have observed, that lack of self-promotion often leads to lack of visibility and loss of power. Self-promotion is important in leadership. Leaders promote themselves because they know and understand that you are your own best advocate. Self-promotion helps in understanding your own value proposition and how you can contribute to your organization, to your community. My advice to you, blow your own trumpet. If you don't blow your trumpet, who will blow it for you? Promote yourself. Number 6, leverage your relationships. Women help out a lot. We give a lot of help. By helping others, we gain influence and recognition. What we do not do so well is to ask for help when we need it. We tend to split ourselves into many parts. It is not necessary. You need to leverage your relationships because leveraging relationships is a leadership skill and a projection of power. If you do not ask for what you want or what you need from others who expect to return favors to you, that is a lost opportunity and a loss of potential influence and social capital. My advice, again, leverage your relationships. Number 7, I urge you to be proactive. Ambitions are realized when we have an end in mind and we set goals to achieve those ends. The powerful are strategic people who have goals and plans to achieve them. They do not leave things to chance and luck. Be proactive, do not be reactive. Why? Reactive people do not have the drive, nor the strength of conviction proactive people have in setting goals and executing their plans. Number 8, have a network of strong allies, supporters, and champions. You need these people to build power. You need a network of allies, supporters, and champions who are willing to speak for you, support you, and back you up. Take interest in people and what they do. Why? Love is reciprocal. Love is a two-way adapter. Give and take. Number 9, be effective anywhere you find yourself. We all want to be liked, but I guarantee you that it's more important to be effective. That you are liked does not mean you are respected. Being liked is a good thing. Being respected is better, and it's even best. Effectiveness in leadership gives power. If you focus too much on being liked, it forces you to seek other people's approval. Be effective. It is more rewarding because you will earn respect. Number 10, keep learning. Continuous learning keeps you ahead of the pack. It makes you competitive. And I would like to conclude this by saying we all learn through life. And people in positions of leadership and power today were once rookies. So don't be afraid. Do not think your opinion does not count. It does. Do not assume you are wrong. What if you are right? Do not think you do not know enough. There are many people who do not know what you know. Have no fear that you will sound stupid. Many people have no courage and are glad you are bold enough to stand up. I urge you to be authentic, be genuine, connect, share what you know, be confident, take pride in your accomplishments, be fearless. Once again, my sisters, let the silent speak, let the hidden be seen, and let the powerful exercise their might. Thank you. I will now take questions.
Wow. Such a powerful session. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bamidele. I have been taking notes of the many life nuggets that you just shared with us, and I would just like to echo a few of them. One thing you really said that stuck out to me was be proactive, do not be reactive. And I think that is a very, very powerful statement because just like you said, the people who are successful, the people who can advance quickly in life are those that are proactive, those that can envision the future and find out what they could do now in the present time to prepare themselves for that future. And we have a comment in the chat from one of our attendees, and she said, Madam Ademola-Olateju, you have only talked for 6 minutes and you have said much this soon. I am in Senegal and I feel I must not be silent no more. Thank you. I think this is the goal for this conference, to empower women, to empower the girl child, and we can see that this is already having a very strong effect. Now I'm going to move us to the Q&A. The first question we have is, do you know where we can get more training for the things you are saying we should do? It sounds so good and I want to do that, but I don't know how. If there has to be like a whole class, where can I get that?
Thank you. There are a lot of courses online, a lot of materials, a lot of books you can read. I can find some resources. For me, excuse me, I like to read a lot of magazines like the Harvard Business Review, Forbes, and I like to read the Time magazine, the New York Times. In the women's section or in the leadership section, you gain a lot of insight. And there are master class online on leadership that you can listen to that are free. So these days, a lot of resources are on the web that are free. Just type leadership, things like that into Google or your favorite search engine, and a lot of resources will come up on your screen that you can read and learn from. But most importantly, when it comes to your own voice, because a lot of people are afraid to speak up, you can watch the people you admire. How do they speak? How do they structure their words, their prose? And that can help. So my advice, go online. There are a lot of free things. You don't have to be in a room with physical walls to be able to learn those things I shared with you. Those things I shared with you came to me from a lot of experience I have gathered throughout my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Bamidele, for that response. I see a comment in the chat that some people cannot hear us. I hope it is much better now. So the next question we have is, how do you handle living in a culture where people believe it is shameful to blow your own trumpet? I think this is coming off from the comment you made about advocating for yourself and promoting yourself.
I understand that. That's why I included it. You know, majority of our audience are situated in Africa, where They believe a woman is to be seen and not heard. Some are not even seen, they are hidden. That is a cultural norm that patriarchy imposed on us that we have to work hard at breaking. Never, never allow that. Have confidence in your own ability, in doing, in saying, in acting. Do not let anybody tell you that. That is why I said it earlier on that education is important. You don't have to be immodest and start saying, oh, I do this, oh, I do that. But find a way. Find a way to let people know you can do things. If you have an opinion, offer the opinion without any fear. And that's why I emphasized your voice a lot. You know, as women, we tend to not believe, we are afraid. Oh, what if they think I'm stupid? What if? My advice is the first thing is within us. We need to break down that internal barrier that tells us we can't do stuff or will be criticized or will be looked down upon. Once you develop that confidence in yourself, you'll be surprised that people will listen to you. From my experience, when you start out, a few men will be so insolent as to want to break you down. Once you offer yourself public, be ready to take the barbs, absorb it, it's part of it. Be ready to take it. When you take the barbs or the jabs or the slaps figuratively, you develop thick skin and you'll be able to move forward because those are distractions. If you focus on distractions, you will never get to your destination. You will never achieve your end. Set goals. These are what I'm going to do, and no one can stop me. This is not a motivational class. It is rooted in research and is proven. And many women, I believe, like Dr. Hill, like myself, and many people who have spoken to you have gone through this. Once you put yourself out there, after some time, people will learn to live with that. Do not be distracted. Focus, focus, focus. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response, Mrs. Bamidele. We have two questions that are similar. I'm going to read the first one first and then go on to the second one. So the first one said, how can one operate along the thin line between confidence and disrespect? And then the second one is, thank you for these inspiring tools for self-advocacy. One of your points was to be a helper, which is very important to establishing relationships with people. Even so, many women are expected to help and give lots of labor without pay or acknowledgement. Can you speak more on building the confidence and the power of saying no?
Okay, thank you. First of all, operating along the thin line between confidence and respect and disrespect. When you are confident, you have ideas, you have information, you have knowledge, and you are ready to share it. That is confidence. Disrespect is talking down on people, not valuing their opinion, and behaving like you know it all. Nobody knows it all. So there's no, I don't think there's a thin line between confidence and disrespect. That might be people's perception. Confidence, when you radiate confidence, people respect you for your knowledge. And when you have knowledge, you have respect for other people's opinion. So you can't be haughty because you know stuff, because you know something. When you are confident, you project power. You say, okay, I'm going to share with you the things we are going to talk about now. This is this. You state the facts. And when somebody comes with a counterpoint, you acknowledge them and you use superior knowledge to dismantle that. And if they are right, you acknowledge that they are right. So there's no thin line there. If you are disrespectful or haughty, it shows. If you are confident, people will know you are confident. If they misunderstand confidence for disrespect, that is their own cup of tea. It's not yours. Then the next one about voice. Excuse me. I want to
Next one
say
is on the power of saying no.
power of saying no. Good question. Many people cannot say no because they are afraid that people will think they are not up to par. Say no when you can't get something done. Say no when it is detrimental to you or to society. The power of no. There's a proverb in my native Yoruba land. Let me share the anecdote with you. It's actually funny. Mr. Tortoise. Tortoise is the favorite villain of our folk tales in Yoruba land, where I come from. Mr. Tortoise used to go to his in-laws, and when he's leaving, they will tell him, oh, can you take this yam for Mr. A? Can you take this pan for Mr. B? So by the time Mr. Tortoise is leaving, he has so much load that he can't carry. Then he'll be weighed down with obligations. Then Mr. Tortoise said, well, the day I learned to say no was the day I learned to walk light, not to be drowned under the weight of obligations. Take obligations, roles, duties that you can effectively schedule and accomplish. Do not take more than you can handle. 1. 2, do not do things that will come back to bite you. The power of no depends on knowing who you are and the extent of your power. That is the fundamental. What can you do? What can you accomplish? What is ethically possible? What is legal? What is not legal? Do not let anybody put you in handcuff. Determine your own way. And these things are closely aligned with your values. What are your values? If you have strong values, you'll be able to know, oh, this agrees with what I can do, I will do it. And I can do it because I have the time to do so. Even if something aligns with your values and you do not have the time, tell them, I think I cannot do this within the time I have. Or if you don't have the skill and people think you have, you say, I'm sorry, I can't do this, but I know someone who can help you. Do you mind if I refer you to that person? So saying no does not mean you are powerless. It means you recognize the limits of your own power. But again, like I said, when you want to say no because it doesn't align with your values. Say no because you cannot achieve the set goals. Say no because you are overwhelmed. Your hands are full. Under those circumstances, it will be so easy for you to know what can be done and what cannot be done. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. We have a comment from Nabisa Patricia. She says, wow, very inspiring and helpful. Thank you so much. And we have another comment, says you are so well spoken. Have you written any books or do you have any training online about how to use your voice?
Thank you. I have written a book, For the Love of Country. It's available on Amazon by Bamidele, Ademola-Olateju. It's actually a collection of what I have written on politics and socio-economic issues in Nigeria. I maintain a column every Tuesday on premiumtimesng.com, where I write about politics, sociology, economics, and society. So you can find that book. I haven't written any book on leadership or on women yet, but I'm working on some things right now that hopefully I can accomplish them in another 2 years. In terms of training, I don't have any training issued. I have an organization that works with youth, but I can ask the organizers of this conference to drop my email such that if you have questions, you can ask. I'm also on Facebook. I will put my Facebook profile where I share insights every day on a wide range of issues. Although sometimes I'm heavily focused on Nigeria, but as Africans, I think we have similar problems and similar successes. So you can follow me on Facebook. I will put it in the chat section so you can click follow. Thank you.
Okay, off of the back of that question, we have another very similar one that says, who or what in your life has been responsible for giving you so much confidence and helping you use your voice?
Wow. Well, I think I would like to say reading helps a lot. As a young lady, I read a lot of books. My parents were very instrumental in building my confidence. My my dad never for one day treated me as a girl. I grew up among boys. My cousins, except one of my age, were all boys. So my father never singled me out. If he caned the boys, he caned me. If the boys climbed tree, I climbed trees with them. I play with them. So it took me a long time to realize I wasn't one of them. And my father didn't single me out that, oh, you're a girl, get out of that place. No, he never did. He just brought me up the way others were brought up. So that is one. Two, um, my love of books and learning about other people, other successful people, did go a long way to help me become who I am today. And again, many of us think failure is bad. Um, One book really helped me some time ago, like I think about 12 years ago. The book was written by Randy Pouch. It is called um, um, my something. Just say Randy Pouch. I can. The title escapes me now. Randy Pouch described himself in a funny way. He said he has been a spectacular failure in life, and yet he was so successful. He he itemized his failures. At that point in my life, I was experiencing some failures. When I read that, that really gave me some strength of character that has shaped me till today. I see failure as essential part of success. So I don't let anything stop me. I don't let anything um, prevent me from achieving my goals. And when I fail with holding my head high that I have put in everything because whatever I decide to do, I put in everything to achieve those goals. Thank you.
Great. Time check. I think we have 6 minutes left, and we have two questions and one comment from Dr. Hill. I'm just going to go through the other two questions real quick. We have Victoria from Ghana, and she says, please, how can one be proactive and not reactive when the men are dominating and doing things to suppress the voice of women in the workplace? And off of the back of that, another question says, Mrs. Bamidele, what would you say to my daughter who just graduated high school, who talks so loud at home, but no matter how much I encourage her, she whispers when she makes presentations on Zoom or in public? Any thoughts?
Okay. Okay. You do not be reactive. You need to be proactive. How are you proactive? You are proactive by one, planning. Then you set your goals. Then you have ways of achieving those goals. the men, yeah, patriarchy, men, they dominate, but they dominate because there's no counter to their domination. When you are confident, when you set your own goals, these are the goals, well, be it in education, in politics, in finance, research what you are going to do, plan. When you plan, set the goals. When you set the goals, execute them. And when you have superior execution strategy and you are good at your goal setting, don't set ambiguous goals for yourself. You want to contest for an election, for example, you need to build your support from the grassroots. One thing, oh God, that I did not mention, it is how we women build power. I'm sorry I forgot that. We women, we don't build power the way men build power, and that is one of the causes of our failures. You want to build power as a woman, you have to build from the bottom. We women, we are fond of discarding our friends or the relationships we have prior. When a woman is when a woman is in secondary school, she will make friends. When she gets to university, she will discard the secondary school friends and start making friends with the university ones. Men don't do that. They keep stringing people along throughout life. That's one of the ways you can do when you can do to build power. And when you are doing that, you have a lot of resources to fall back on. So when you are proving your point, you will have people to back you up. And people, when you have people behind you, when you have the numbers behind you, nobody, no man can stop you. And as regards the woman who talks about her daughter, well, you have to set example. You call her and say, look, the world out there is not so kind. You'll be measured against other people. You are not the only person in the world. When you want to talk, you do not talk in whispers. You do not shout either. You need to maintain an even keel. You need to talk in moderation so that people can hear you, and you don't shout when you are talking. You don't whisper either. You speak. I have given you tips about how you do that. I was surprised some time ago, about 4 years ago, when I was looking at how do I improve my cadence when I speak. I discovered Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of Britain, had to hire a voice coach to teach her how to speak in a lower tone so she can sound authoritative. You can cite all this, and that can help her to know that to put her best face forward, she has to be able to moderate her voice in a way that is not too high and not too low.
Thank you so much. I really resonate with the Margaret Thatcher story because it's something that I've also learned about. Okay, our last question is from Dr. Hill. And she said, as the Women and Girls Leadership and Empowerment Conference comes to a close, what would be the closing message or final thoughts that you would leave with our attendees?
Thank you, Dr. Hill. Again, I thought long and hard about this and came to that about 3 days ago. And that was the title of this presentation. Let the silent speak. Let the hidden be seen. And let the powerful exercise their might. That is my message to every woman attending this conference.
Great. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bamidele. And as we end this session, we want to say a huge thank you to all of our attendees and participants for the questions, for the comments, and for making this session very interactive. And on behalf of the organizing committee, I want to say a huge thank you to Mrs. Bamidele for sharing so much of her insight from her wealth of knowledge and experience. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of this session, and we hope to see you all in the remaining sessions of today's conference.